Good morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We are delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Rebecca Senaway, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you're a newcomer or a visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation and to receive our weekly email newsletter. If you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you and extend a welcome to you as well. And now we will have a capital campaign moment from our own Dennis Sweeney.
Good morning, everybody. I've got a couple pieces of information, mostly as reminders for you. After the service today, there will be a small group meeting for those of you who still have questions about the capital campaign, would like to get some answers, and we will cover them. I strongly encourage you to attend. And there's probably in your mind, what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for you other than information is next Sunday there will be a drawing for the people who attended meetings in September, and the winner of that drawing will get a 4-course wine-oriented meal prepared by me and my daughter for 6 people. So the fewer people who attend, that means you will be left out of the drawing. So be sure to be there. We do have by the table, a frequently asked questions book. So if you do have any questions, everything you may want ever to know is probably in this book. And if it's not in this book, see one of us who are involved with the Capital Campaign Committee. Next piece of information, and I'm sure you all know this, but next Saturday at 5, there's going to be a celebration of what we have accomplished so far. It will be, the best part, free pizza. There will also be childcare and activities for kids. Everybody is encouraged to attend. Whether you had pledged or still want to attend another one of our informative meetings that will also be held Saturday. So please sign up to come. We'll have a grand time. Next, I would like to talk to the people who have pledged already. I really, from my heart, I thank you folks who have pledged. It's so good to see the support. Now I've got another thing that I need to talk about. There are probably some people who are sitting out there today who are waiting to make a decision to pledge. And there are various reasons, and these are the people that we're calling the round to-its. Now, there may be a couple reasons why you are a round to it. You may be some information you want to convince you that this is a good thing to do, or you're just waiting to say, what about, what if? Or there may be a person who's saying, look, I've got some financial things going on in my life, and I can't make a commitment now until those financial commitments are settled. We understand that. But for the round to it, I think it would be great if you could shift your meaning and your life to becoming a got to it. The got to it will feel so much better once you pledge. And a final word to an encouragement is get to it.
A gentle reminder to everyone to please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices so that we can enjoy the service uninterrupted. Today's sermon is titled Love and the Immovable Stone. Sometimes it seems that there is an immovable stone on the path before us, blocking the way toward any progress. Yet even the largest, most daunting barrier can be shifted, given enough patience, practice, and leverage. How might we harness the power of transformative love to move the immovable obstacles before us? Our opening words were written by Arlen Goff. Thresholds. We cross them every day, from room to room, from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation, from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time attuned to the other, to the sacred, to the holy, into an awareness of new life pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering of beloved community? Come, you longing, thirsty souls. Come, let us worship together. Please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. We light our chalice to remind ourselves of the sacredness of this hour, a time of reflection, a time of renewal, a time of transformation.
Good morning. We're going to sing a song that's new to our congregation, and Mary and I are going to sing through the whole first verse once, and then invite you to join in as you get the hang of it. And we'll stay with that first verse, hold on for a while before we move on to sing on, love on, and march on.
Please rise and bow to your spirit.
Thank you.
Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Everything is gonna be alright. Try it. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Everything is gonna be alright again. Hold on. Hold on just a little while longer. Hold on just a little while longer. Won't you hold on just a little while longer? Everything is gonna be alright. Sing on just a little while longer. Won't you sing on just a while longer? Won't you sing on just a little while longer? Everything is gonna be alright. Love on just a little while longer. Won't you love on just a little while longer? Won't you love on just a little while longer? Everything is gonna be alright. March on just a little while longer. Won't you march on just a little while longer? Won't you march on just a little while longer? Everything is gonna be alright. Hold on Just a little while longer, won't you hold on? Just a little while longer, everything is gonna be all right.
Thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
be seated.
Thank you. Good morning, friends. Thank you, Ms. Mary. If there are any kiddos present that want to come on up for our time for all ages, now is your chance. Good morning, friends. Good to see y'all this morning. All righty. Hello, everyone. This morning's story is called Crow and Pitcher. It was a hot summer day. Crow thought he might die of thirst if he didn't find water soon. On wilted wings, he allowed himself to be carried hither and thither by the thermal winds. He rode them lazily until suddenly something caught his eye. It was a pitcher perched on a garden table far below. The crow circled down to rest for a moment on its rim, then bent down and poked his bill inside. He couldn't reach the water. The pitcher was half empty, and his bill was just not long enough. The crow felt thirstier than ever. With water so close and yet so out of reach, he was parched. He teetered on the edge of the pitcher, feeling full of gloom. But as he looked around the garden, an idea came to him. He sprang into action. Crow had noticed a pile of pebbles beneath the garden table. He flew down and picked up a whole billful. He dropped the pebbles into the water, then flew down to collect some more. He repeated this a couple times, over and over. And with each billful of more pebbles that he dropped into the water, what do you think happened to the water? Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Good job. The water rose a little bit each trip. And after many trips, the water nearly reached the top. So what do you think Crow was able to do? That's right. So do you think he then maybe drank the water? Yeah, exactly. So he was able to slowly but surely get to his water. So what this story tells us is if we're having a hard thing going on in our lives, having a problem, sometimes if you just do a little bit at a time over and over and break it down into small pieces, then we could solve our problem. And with that, we can go to our RE classes. Let's sing the kiddos out.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
This song, Bird by Joe Crookston, was inspired by a quote from the writer Anne Lamott, who wrote, speaking of a memory from her childhood, "Many years ago, my older brother, who was 10 years old at the time, was trying to get a report written about birds, about all the different types and varieties of birds in our part of the world. He'd had 3 months to write the report, but he hadn't started until now, and it was due the next day. We were in the woods at our family cabin, and he was at the kitchen table, close to tears, surrounded by binder paper and pencils and unopened books about birds, immobilized by the hugeness of the task ahead of him. Then my father sat down beside him, put his arm around my brother's shoulder and said, "Bird by bird, buddy. Just take it bird by bird."
Trouble isn't easy, trouble brings doubt. Fear comes in and the joy goes out. How are we gonna make it? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it when trouble comes through? We'll take it bird by bird, a little at a time. Take it bird by bird and stone by stone, a little at a time. Take it stone by stone. Change isn't easy, change is hard. Fear comes in and it can tear you apart. How are we gonna make it? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it when change comes through? We'll take it bird by bird, a little at a time. Take it bird by bird and stone by stone, a little at a time. Take it stone by a little at a time. Take it stone by stone. Dreams aren't easy, dreams can get lost. Fear comes in and the dream gets tossed. How are we gonna make it? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this dream come true? We'll take it bird by bird, a little at a time. Take it bird by bird and stone by stone, a little at a time. Take it stone by stone, a little at a time. Take it stone by stone, a little at a time. Take it stone by stone.
This is a part in our service where we share joys and sorrows submitted by members of the congregation. After each joy or sorrow that I read, please respond by saying, "We hold you in our hearts." A joy from Nancy Ritzko. This is an optimistic joy. Nancy says that she is having surgery this Wednesday. To Nancy, we hold you in our hearts. A sorrow from the pastoral care team. Our friend Mary Caesar is in ICU at St. Clair Hospital. She's in good spirits, as in keeping with her bubbly temperament. Please keep her in your thoughts. By the way, she would love to receive cards, so if you need to get Mary's address or know how to get in touch with her, ask me or Bethany, and we can get you in touch with her. To Mary, we hold you in our hearts. Joy from Ron Smutney, who says, "Today, is it actually today? Today happens to be my birthday, but more significantly, George and I marked 25 years together on September 18th. Who knew what one casual dinner date would lead to? It has been a fun ride. We hope to take a celebratory trip later this fall." To Ron and George, we hold you in our hearts. As we sing our musical meditation, we invite anyone who feels moved to do so to come forward, light a candle, place it in the sand, and then return to your seats.
in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. We pause for a moment of stillness in the midst of endless quake and movement. We pause for a moment of quiet in the midst of noise and commotion all around. We pause for a moment of reflection in the midst of thoughtless actions and squabbles. We pause for a moment of compassionate togetherness in the midst of me first self-righteousness. We pause for a moment of warmth in the midst of the gathering chill of wintry indifference. We pause for a moment of peaceful repose in the midst of perpetual war and strife. We pause for a moment of deep contemplation in the midst of shallow scorn and ignorance. We pause now for a moment of silence. Today and always, may we meet uncertainty with equanimity, anxiety with courage, fear with love. And may we immerse ourselves and all others in the comforting warmth of compassion and the clarifying light of restorative justice. Amen. Last week, in a sermon that I will admit had a lot of words, I talked about the new articulation of our UU values that was approved at this year's UUA General Assembly. In some ways, it had to have a lot of words because it was a sermon about a statement contained in our denomination's bylaws. And it's important to understand at least some of the history and context of this statement in our larger religious movement. But sometimes we focus too much on getting the words just right and not enough on actually living the values that we're trying to describe. Somehow it's as if we think, if we can at least just say it perfectly, then that's going to bring it into being somehow. It's easy for us to get, in other words, stuck in our heads and forget to breathe life into our principles and values. These values don't really exist as dry letters on a page. Rather, if they are to be real, they exist in the world, in our actions, and in our behaviors among one another. Last week, I closed with a compelling statement about love from the writer Iris Murdoch, who said, "Love is the extremely difficult realization that something other than oneself is real." Love is the extremely difficult realization that something other than oneself is real. As I mentioned last Sunday, I'm taken with this description of love because it articulates both the challenge and the power that are inherent in the concept of love. Love, in the way Iris Murdoch describes it, is not just some fleeting, warm, fuzzy feeling, but rather a realization that challenges us to understand that there is more to life than ourselves alone. In love, we find the seed for empathy and compassion, which, when nourished and properly tended, grows into those other 6 UU values of interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. Today, I'll share with you 2 wisdom stories that illustrate what this kind of love might look like in the world when it is lived and not just talked about. Both of these stories came to me by way of the writings of Mark Nepo. A great spiritual teacher once said to those who had gathered to hear his words of wisdom, "Let me tell you a story. There are 2 monks. Both have followed the Buddha's teachings all of their lives. They are considered to be holy men who have prepared many, many years for a sacred journey. And one day they begin. Together, they start out climbing a holy mountain, for they believe that the Buddha himself is at the top of that mountain. But halfway up, one of the monks falls and breaks a leg. Well, they might stay the night hoping to continue in the morning, but the broken monk now has a fever. It's clear that he can't go on, and indeed he can't stay there either. He needs to be brought back down to the world so that he can heal. Just what should the other monk do? Should he leave his brother so that he can achieve nirvana, or carry his brother back into the world? Tell me, the teacher asked his audience, what would you do? Tell me. A young man full of devotion blurted out, I would make him as comfortable as I could and keep my destiny with Buddha. The teacher asked this young man directly, and what if you were left behind? The young man was proud of his clarity and said, I would accept my failings and get out of the way. The teacher looked at the young devoted man for a long time and finally sighed and said to the rest of the audience, who among you will travel with this holy man? And of course, no one in the crowd said yes or raised their hand. He said to the young man, kindly but sternly, if you were broken on the mountain, it would be your good fortune to have traveled with me, for I would forsake any goal to preserve life. But if I were broken on the mountain, it would be my great misfortune to have traveled with you. He then spoke to the larger crowd. Now you can make the mountain what you will, whatever you desire, whatever you aspire to be or to have. But is any goal worth another's life? Even meeting Buddha? And what if you are meant to discover that caring for another is the summit? What if you are meant to discover that caring for another is the summit? The crowd went silent, and the teacher brought out into open more of his insight, saying, you see, all beings can be understood in this way. There are those who would leave behind their brothers broken on the mountain, and those who would forego the mountain of their dreams to preserve life. He said the history of this kind of suffering is vast, for each era has its share of those broken along the way. When most are left behind, we have an era of cruelty. When most are cared for, we have an era of compassion. It's as simple as this. Which are you, and what will you teach your children? Living from our central value of love, realizing that something other than ourselves alone is real, means helping the broken heal, even if we have to postpone or leave behind what we thought was our journey to the top of the mountain. What we see playing out in our world today is a collective wavering between an era of cruelty and an era of compassion. What we do and the values that we choose to live from will determine which era will come to the fore and which will recede. It is difficult to live from this central, challenging value of love, and often there are obstacles separating us from one another that can seem immovable, impossible even to imagine shifting them in some way. A story is told about a huge stone that separated two people. For a while, each thought that the other had put that stone into place, but the truth is, it was there long before either of them. Neither could budge it, but they found that together they could rock it just a little. So with great effort, they rocked it enough to create a dark space between the stone and the crushed down earth beneath it. They could have walked away at that moment, but somehow they knew if they did, it would remain between them. So they kept rocking and wedging, believing that there would be a tipping point at some point. And on the third morning, the huge stone finally rolled over with a thud that they could feel in their throats and in their chests. Its dark underside with clumps of soil and broken roots. In its unearthed cavity, worms and bugs scurried from the light. Breathing heavily, they stared at the huge unearthed thing and smiled. Now they began to roll it enough to fit a broken branch beneath it. This, too, took enormous effort, but slowly they were able to move the heavy thing between them, roll it slightly onto this branch from a dead tree, and do it again, and with even more effort, again. This work went so slow, it seemed like it had become a way of life. But in this way, they moved this unearthed thing across a field to the mouth of their garden. It was here that they washed the thing that had been between them, but which was there long before them. Here they washed it clean of the clumps of earth and insects hidden in the cracks. Once clean, they could see the veins in the stone that had been hidden for so long, and they were really beautiful. So they pressed their tired palms in the stone and closed their eyes in a form of unexpected prayer. Then they rolled this washed, unearthed thing one last time, and where it landed, they began a path. And this huge thing, which no one before them could move, became known as the first stone. And over time, they came to the realization that this is how what seems immovable becomes a foundation. This is how what seems immovable becomes a foundation. Sometimes the task before us seems impossibly difficult. And especially in our current era, the things that can separate us seem immense and immovable. But once we start working together to shift a seemingly immovable stone, we realize that little by little it can be moved. Once moved, the stone is no longer a barrier, but a foundation on which we might build something new. The new beginning of a path that leads us toward that era of compassion rather than backward toward an era of cruelty. I hope and pray that we will learn to lean into the challenge and the promise of our central value of love. Caring for the broken, moving that which seems immovable, and ushering in a new era of compassion. May it be so. Amen.
And invite your spirit to join in singing, "We Were Made for These Times." This song has a call and a response. I'm just kidding. Yeah. This song has a call and response. We're going to sing through the call a few times. We sang this once together, but it's been a minute. And then I'll start leading the response. So maybe at least this group can follow me, but if anybody else wants to follow the response, you're welcome.
All right, it goes like this.
Don't give up. We were made for these times. Don't give up. your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Try it with us. Don't give up. Don't give up. We were made for these times. Don't give up. We were made for these times. Don't give up. We were made for these times. Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times.
All right, let's start that response.
Don't give up.
Not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
were made for this.
Don't give
Do
up.
not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
were made for this.
Don't give
Do
up.
not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
were made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold
in
these dark times. Don't lose heart. Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We made for this
We
time.
were made for this.
Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Don't lose hope. Don't lose
Do
hope.
not lose hope.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't lose
Do
hope.
not lose hope.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't lose
Do
hope.
not lose hope.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't give
Do
up.
not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't give
Do
up.
not give up.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times. Once more, don't lose heart. Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Don't lose
Do
heart.
not lose heart.
We were made for this
We
time.
made for this.
Show your soul. It shines like gold in these dark times.
Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of September is the Youth Enrichment Services, or YES. YES provides socially and economically at-risk youth in the Pittsburgh area the opportunity to achieve success through participation in mentorship, education, and enrichment programs. YES is proud to share that they just celebrated 30 years of service, helping over 6,000 young people. You can make a gift online on our website or by text at 324-3130. We'll be passing our offering baskets for cash and checks in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please make it out to UUCSH and put "Share the Plate" in the memo line. Thank you so much for your generosity. Please join me in saying the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We'll close with these words. Blessed is the path on which you travel. Blessed is the body that carries you upon it. Blessed is your heart that has heard the call. Blessed is your mind that discerns the way. Blessed is the gift that you will receive by going. Truly blessed is the gift that you will become on the journey. Go in peace.